Welcome, live streamers, to the YouTube live streams of Satisfactory 1.0 on Terrace DWDC's channel. I'm Terrace. Welcome to the channel, and we're back streaming some more Satisfactory. And in today's stream, we are going to be diving into, I've already started. I've been kind of chipping away at it throughout the day today of building a factory to be able to convert Petroleum Coke, or convert oil into heavy oil residue, and then moving that into Petroleum Coke. And we're making a lot. We can get, with using the summer sloop boosts, we're getting a lot, but we're going to need a lot to be able to make our steel beams here in the near future from our aluminum factory that we're going to be building. So without further ado, let's switch over to game mode here and dive into my current load. And Anthony, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Petroleum Coke is a niche item. Why? Because I'm going to be using the coal elsewhere, and I needed to have a secondary source of a coal type product for making my steel beams. So we are going to convert every single oil node in game in a setup just like this. And actually, I'm just finishing up this one. We've got exactly 600 cubic meters of oil that we run through refineries to turn it into heavy oil residue. And then we are just dumping the plastic here into awesome sinks. And then heavy oil residue is being converted into petroleum coke. And of course, right now, it's just going to get dumped into awesome sinks, but eventually we're going to be moving all of this coal over to, let's turn the fog off here, over to our factory that we are building way over on the far side. And you can see where our converter tower is, where we're converting all of our yttrium and copper into bauxite. So coal is for diamonds, oil is for power in my game. It's because I'm doing a challenge. So my overall challenge on this right now is to make as many possible screws as possible. I want to break the record for the most screws made based off of automation in this game. So that's what that petroleum coke's getting used for. That's the sole purpose of this playthrough, which is, of course, screws are the most useless item in game. You can play the game without ever having to make a screw ever. But I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm doing it my way. And let me make sure I got chat window set up properly. I do. Okay. I can see what's happening where. So right now, I'm just going to dive into getting these ones thrown into Awesome Sync so I can get these machines up and running. Because it's going to take a little bit to kind of gather all of this together. Meta notwithstanding, got it. Yep. I kind of like doing these useless type factories that I guess mean nothing, but they're going to do the trick for what I want them to do in game anyway. So it's just to say that, yeah, I could build 10 million screws per minute. Actually, I don't even know what the number is going to be yet for it. I'm surmising at 10 million screws, but it's probably going to be more. Could be less, depending on if the game tanks on me while I'm trying to get this done. How many do we have there so far? That's 1, 2, 3. I need 5 more on this. 5 more up. So basically, out of one 600 cubic meter pile of oil, which in here we had 2 impures and 1 normal, or it's two normal and 2 impures we were able to get together, I think. No, let's double check this again. This was impure, normal, and impure. That was what was here. So there's 2 impure nodes and 1 normal node. We were able to get our 600 cubic meters of oil. That converts, basically getting us 8 full conveyors of 1,200 items per minute of petroleum coke. And so far on the map, if we highlight our crude oil, I've got all of the ones basically on the west side of the map are kind of done now. The next cluster I'm going to be going after is this cluster here in the north end. And then there's a little bit this way, and then I still have to do the stuff over on the east side. So there's still lots to do. So I beat the game with, that is how it's going to happen. Push on. Yep. I mean, I beat the game back in the day with doing screws. Like when I went through my first few playthroughs on everything, you go and kind of follow the steps. And then after you've beat the game a few times, it's like, okay, what can I do next? And that's the phase that I'm at in game, is what can I do next? I think that's probably the maximum. Oh, I don't need to go that high with this. But we can use 90 degree on that. And then we're going to just elevator this in. Connect everything up. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend this weekend. Ours was pretty laid back and chill. Got together with some friends last night, played some cards, so mini lift, nice. Yeah, it is to be able to have that ability to just do the little short one. You can't just freestyle do that. You have to connect it to two pieces to make the mini lift happen. I think I'm going to kind of work my way this way. One high. My riser. Put it in the right spot. Okay, this one's one high, and then rise here, and then go up twice. Next. You watch Master Kibitz. Mini lifts are like, yeah, he's done, I think it might have been either Kibitz or who else is it that I followed that I first discovered the mini lift. I want to say it was, let me look at my subscriber list. Just bear with me. Total Eclipse is who I actually saw it from first. Pretty sure that's who I saw it from first. And let's bring these over. So my goal of my factories that I'm building right now is basically taking like Let's Game It Out's version of the game, but making it less spaghetti and disastrous. But Eclipse is okay, Bits okay, Kib gonna finish it. Yeah, I watched. I'm actually subscribed to all three of them: Kibitz, Bits, and Total Eclipse. I enjoy all their content. I still I'm mind blowing at what the visual structures they can build. It's just mind blowing what they've been able to accomplish in game. I can do that kind of build stuff in Minecraft, but I just can't wrap my head around doing it in this type scenario. One of my playthroughs a while back, I kind of I got a little bit more creative with how I was doing everything, and trying to make it a little bit more like I was trying to do every single factory in its own specialized building, and I think some of them kind of worked out okay, but nowhere to the scale of what those guys are building. It's just they're on a whole nother level. I think Bits has been playing like Alchemy Factory lately. I don't know. I haven't given Alchemy Factory a try yet. And I think Kibitz is still doing Satisfactory. I know Total Eclipse is also a community mod for another game project now too. So he's still doing his Satisfactory stuff, but scaling it back a little bit because he's doing other content for this other indie game that's getting built. You got nothing but naked factories, no time, and everything changes. Putting supports in windows. Alchemy looks fun. Yes, Alchemy does. It does look fun. I think I want to get my projects done here first before I bring in another game, though. Most of my factories are open frame. Like what I was building over there with my converters, and then how I'm building all of this. This is maybe a little bit more Factorio laid out than getting structured, but yeah, I didn't do a lot of the Fixonium stuff. I basically got to getting to the point where I could get the space elevator completed, get that achievement done, and then get it launched. And then from that point, it was like, you know what, I need to step back and start doing some mega build type things. At one point, I think I might do a playthrough where I try to start right from scratch and build everything that I need right from the get-go. So I'll have everything completely unlocked. Like I won't we'll start like a fresh biome and I'll land, but I won't go through the actual phases. I'll have all the phases and everything unlocked, but I'll go through and start building the factories and everything that I need with the ultimate goal of getting each of the 4 items required for the space elevator. I want to get them so that I can make them at like 10 items per minute, and then also have a nuclear power generation factory where I take all of the uranium in base and do a completely recycled, so there's a zero waste nuclear factory out of it. Because I think now with the new steps in the nuclear end of things, you can create some additional nuclear power that you would end up not getting the waste. So you can actually take the plutonium and make it use it for power and not end up with plutonium waste. You can like step it into the next phase. And I think I might do a playthrough on that and kind of include it in doing the absolute everything build that I would like to do. Have those 4 space elevator items running at 10 items per minute. If you start with an end goal, I did it once. I think it was in update 8, where I said I wanted each of the 4 final items that I was playing for the space elevator. I wanted them to be running at 1 item per minute, and the size of that factory was absolutely ridiculous. So I can't imagine what 10 items would end up looking like. And then the nuclear power plant that I had built for that, I awesome sunk the plutonium power rods. So I made it through to just using uranium, and then had 0 waste left over, so it kind of worked for that. But I hate searching for hard drives, so I did the hard drive the hard way. Took me 500 hours to buy the hard drives through the wet concrete. You can just start a game with all of the hard drives unlocked, all the factories unlocked. It's one of the options when you start the game. That's what I'm using with this playthrough right now, so that I can build these absolutely ridiculous factories, as I've got all of the alternate recipes unlocked for this. Then that way you don't have to rely on doing the exploration of the game if you don't need to. I believe it's, you do have to have it in advanced game mode to set that. Like if I look here, Advanced game mode options. No power, no fuel, no unlock costs. Unlock all recipes instantly. So it's one of the options there is to unlock the alternate recipes. But it is in advanced game mode to be able to get that setting. So you do need to enable advanced game mode, and once you enable advanced game mode, you can't turn off advanced game mode. Quick reminder, everybody, reach down and hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring the notification bell so you can be notified when I got another live stream coming up. The gathering all the coal was definitely, or copper on this game was, that took a lot longer in live stream to do. I think it was a total of 4 live streams to get that whole process done. And I think it's going to take a really long time to move all of this petroleum coke over to where our factory build is going to be. Okay, so the next one is right here. We're going up 2. Switch this back to 90-degree build mode. And elevator it down. Without resets, what are you doing? Doing it with good recipes from the jump street. Thanks for showing that. Yeah, and the experimental, I have 1,100 hours. Rerun all the time. Only game that runs on experimental. Yeah, because this game, I started playing in update 4 or 5, so I was on the experimental branch as soon as they released the next kind of update. And because they did such a good job of how the game is built, it's not very flaky. So I don't mind running in experimental because it doesn't seem to crash. Like right now, I'm obviously just playing normal right now. I mean, I'm running in advanced mode, but not experimental. Mainly because I don't want any spoilers yet, but I don't think they have anything. I think experimental and live game are the same version right now. I don't think they're 2 different versions there, so. And if you do switch to experimental, it's just for that one particular save. It's not for all your saves, so you don't have to, like, you can create another playthrough that's not on advanced game mode, and you don't have to worry about it affecting any or other ones, so. I've never had to, I did not, my first initial playthrough, I went from update 4. I really, with that said, I only played in update 4 for like 3 days, and then update 5 came out. But my first initial playthrough, I never once had to restart all the way through to update 8. I started fresh with 1.0. I wanted to start with a fresh playthrough there. But I'm pretty sure my update 8 loaded fine in... Other than some like nodes and stuff moved, that was about the only thing that was... They still functioned and worked, but the nodes were moved to different areas of the map. So you had like equipment that would be sitting somewhere and it was doing its thing, but it was still linked to a node that was, say, 20, 30, 40 meters away from where it used to be. And then if you tried to play something on that node that was technically being used, you couldn't because it was linked to the spot where it was before. It was kind of weird. That's the only glitchy thing that I came from. So it never really was game breaking at all, but... There's no way that's reaching all the way to... do need to change this to normal build though. Defaults, because a 90 degree, the straight build won't do that short 90. Oh, well, that's because that's not even close enough anyway. I gotta move this riser back. Well, and I guess we could go back to straight build. Ta-da! Okay, all of these now are being dumped into an awesome sink. I'm gonna kind of like pre-do getting the all of the conveyors and everything set up. I don't want to shut these off and have them just sit initially. And actually, I think I do need to clean them out a bit because they'll be backlogged a little bit. Mainly because I don't want to deal with fluid issues. If you shut off a machine and fluid gets backed up and things break, and it's not so bad with this type of a build because everything kind of gets consumed on it. So I like to try, as soon as I get these built, have them running into an awesome sink. We will run into this a lot with the aluminum factory when I do get to the point that I'm making the alumina solution and making the scrap aluminum, trying to keep everything running all the time so I don't end up with bits and pieces of the factory backing up all the time. That's my biggest concern, so. Okay, so now I need to, there's what, 8 conveyors I got to deal with down there that we're going to be shipping off on our super highway. That's not the right height. It's a lot of petroleum coke that I'm making. Like, what, over on one of the sections over there, like on the map, there's a spot way down here. You can't see it because we're too far north right now. But there was like a whole pile of nodes down there. I want to say there was 3 pure nodes and 2 or 3 normal nodes. We ended up with a lot of conveyors of petroleum coke out of that. Which is good because I'm going to have a lot of scrap aluminum to turn into steel beams. And I believe we make, I think we turned the aluminum ingots into electrode aluminum or electrode steel ingots, I think is the alternate recipe we end up using. I don't know, it's one of them. I think I can look at, I think it's a foundry that I end up using. So if I bring up the foundry, solids, molded steel beams. No, it must not be a foundry. What piece of equipment was it that was going to do it? Alternate aluminum beams. That just goes straight from aluminum ingots to steel beams. What did I need the petroleum coke for? I know I was needing it for something. Or else I wouldn't have gone through all this efforts. Refineries, always refineries? Maybe it is a refinery recipe that... Electrode scrap aluminum, that's what I need the petroleum coke for. So it's alumina solution and petroleum coke ends up making scrap aluminum. That's what I'm going after. And then there's a crap ton of wastewater that we got to deal with, which I'm not overly thrilled about that. Because that, if you don't have that gauged right, you're going to break some shit. And we're going to have a lot of alumina solution. Because I think we've got like 85,000 bauxite we're going to be converting into alumina solution, so... Oh, so you were fibbing and the aluminum is the raid boss? Aluminum is going to be a bit of a raid boss on this for sure. Dealing with that water, dealing with the wastewater is going to be... It's going to be probably the hardest part of this whole project. I need to get back to what I was actually thinking about here. My brain just went off onto its own tangent. Logistics. Swing some conveyors down, but I got to reverse the direction on that. Conveyor lifts. Wet concrete, that's how you get rid of the water out of search for 500 hours for the recipe. Wet concrete is probably... That was kind of the way I was leaning, or I might use some of it for the pure iron ingots as well. I don't want to rely... I don't want to rely on a waste product as my primary source of water for a production line that requires a consistent amount of... Because I don't want something to hiccup on it. So I'll probably do that. I'll probably just take all the wastewater, dump it into limestone. My only downside is there enough limestone in the game to deal with the water? If there isn't, then I've got to think of something else to use it for. So I am making a bunch of residual plastic. I could gather up all this residual plastic and package it, and then I can sink water into the awesome sink as packaged water. So that's another possible outcome that I could go with. But again, we'll have to play that by ear and see how it goes. You're absolutely right. Don't integrate it. It could, yeah, I'm going to cause so much failure. You're probably 100% right. If I focus on just dumping it into the limestone and be able to make concrete out of it, that's probably the way to go. Well, plastic uses oil, but I'm already making residual plastic. Like when I'm using the alternate recipe of heavy oil residue to get the most heavy oil residue. So I'm actually already producing polymer resin out of here. So I can craft this polymer resin into plastic and then turn that into bottles. How much polymer resin are we getting in here? I don't know if this will give me a consistent number. It'll take a bit. Let me just figure this out. 100. We're making 800 polymer resin per minute right now just off of this one. And I believe there is it a constructor? No, it's not that. I need to be able to make plastic from that. You can recycle containers no matter, not if you dump them into an awesome sink. They get consumed if you dump them into an awesome sink. And if you fill them with water and then dump them into an awesome sink, then they're gone forever. How would I be making the plastic from the residual plastic? That's rubber and fuel. Residual plastic. Polymer resin and water makes plastic. So I could be making all the plastic that we need there, refine all the polymer resin into plastic, and then make that plastic into bottles or into containers, and then run the water into packagers and package up the water and throw away. Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll be like my failsafe if when I run out of limestone. And why did the message get retracted? Let's have a look here. Sometimes my chatbot can be really aggressive, and I'm just not sure why your message got retracted. And it won't let me see the messages, so that's fine. No, I deleted my message because I forgot the sinks take the canisters. Yep, there you go. Sometimes my chatbot could be aggressive. That's why I just wanted to double check. When I first got it activated, it was like deleting sentences that were like 180 characters long, which was like, oh, you can't use paragraphs, and it got really aggressive. I think I expanded that out to like 250, so... When I just proves it, I'm trying to do my best at keeping up with chat, too. I'm trying to be an interactive streamer. Okay, so that end is all prepped. I'm not going to hook any of that up yet until... Man, when you have the fog turned off and it switches to nighttime, it is like seriously nighttime. You can't see jack. See, what a difference. You turn the fog back on and wow, you can see again. Good job for all three of us. Yeah, well, it's something, I guess. I figure, I got some advice from someone that he's been doing some streaming of his Effect 2.0. He's rated my channel a couple of times in the past, and I think one of the advice, I think it was from him, said that you've got roughly 8 seconds to gather someone's interest before they'll move on. And I think I might be too high on that. So you kind of always have to be on when you're dealing with chat, because someone will pop on and they've seen your live stream and they're like, okay, what's this? And if you're just somebody that's sitting there waiting for somebody to click on or type into chat and say something, you're going to miss the interaction. And they won't stick around. And if you're just like waiting and you're playing, and I mean, my delay on my stream, I think, is about 6 seconds between what I'm doing right now and what's showing up in the chat log. So if I wait until somebody reacts and then say something to that reaction, that's 12 seconds. Well, they've already left 4 seconds ago by the time I interact with it. So trying to keep myself on a pace where I'm always rambling on about some useless little tidbit, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Then that way, when somebody does hop onto the channel, then, yay, I'm actually here, I'm talking, I'm doing something. And it's not just a static stream of somebody sitting there playing a video game, hoping that somebody says hi in chat. Which is, I mean, when I first started streaming, that's how I started. Like, I would just wait by bated breath for the next guy to come along that I could talk to. Guy, gal, whoever. They, them. Doesn't matter. As long as it was somebody to interact with. And you're missing out on so much opportunity if you're not engaged. And even just rambling about the game you're doing. Even if you're just talking about why you're placing the blocks that you're doing. Like right now, I'm doing a bunch of foundation structure here. so that I can get all of that petroleum coke over to where we're going to be working with our big factory on the far east side of the map. West side of the map. I get my easts and wests on this map absolutely confused on a regular basis. It's really sad. Okay, what is going to be the best way to get these products over to that side? You know what? I will bring it down to where it needs to go and then distribute it out. I think I've got a plan. I'm going to say by this point, we're already going to be 3 wide. I've decided that I am only going to cap, like I did the copper. I did it 31 conveyors high all the way down there. Well, I'm going to have way too much petroleum coke to do that. I'm not going to go just straight vertical on that. I'm going to cap it at the 24 high, which is the maximum build height of the blueprint that I've got for doing conveyor runs. So, wait, remember you were human. Drink water and pee and give us chair stream for a few minutes. It'll be fine. Yeah, I only stream for a few hours at a time anyway, so I don't necessarily have to like abandon everybody. I think I can hold it for 3 hours if I need be. I can drink coffee from my Fix-It coffee mug, though. I got this for Christmas, not this year, but last year. So I'm having my Fix-It cup of coffee. Okay, so that's going to be a huge cluster of petroleum coke that's coming this way. That is going to be another cluster of petroleum coke, and then there's a bunch more coming on from that way. So let's look at the map again now. Crude oil. So you can see at the bottom of the map, I do have the ones that are done down there. I think the next little cluster is this little bit right here that we're going to be going after. Actually, I think now's probably a good time to get some of these conveyors kind of caught up to where we're building. We'll do some conveyor runs. Yeah, my kid got my Fix-It mug for me for Christmas a couple years back. Do I have the lizard doggo too? Can't remember if I had a lizard doggo as well. If I do, I think it might be upstairs. I don't think it's down here. I can't remember. It's not in my office, so I'm thinking maybe I didn't get the lizard doggo. I do have some World of Warcraft plushies, though. I have the Flight Griffin and whatever the Flight one was for the Horde side. I'm an Alliance guy personally for playing World of Warcraft, but I do have those plushies. They're on my Frostmourne sword that is wrapped in a dragon. I'm a full-out nerd when it comes to dragons and collectibles. In the cabinet I have behind me, it's full of Stargate action figures. Okay, so this is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this group of 6 conveyors, that's from the down in the swamp there. There's a ground, a pressurized well to be able to get some oil out of that. There's 2 spots on the map that are like that for oil. And we are, I've already got that one already completed. Spin that around, it connects. Okay, run this. I got all my blueprints for all the heights of conveyor from 2 high to 24 high done in blueprints. Because it just makes life a little easier. You need more trains. I like belts, highways, but choo-choo. Yeah. getting the consistent volume, though. I know I'm always going to get my 1,200 items per minute off my belt. Where trying to plan your train to get your materials across the map can be less than ideal. Same with like drones and trucks and stuff like that. Now, with that said, I haven't played enough with the trains and the drones and trucks to just say yay or nay. It would work totally fine. Excuse me. Buffers, there's a way. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just like have a bunch of outgoing containers and stuff on it. They all load into them and then I just pull from the containers when need be. But this way I just kind of have a guaranteed, yep, we're golden. I've got everything I need. But then I run into these little issues where I've got to do some creative conveyor hopping. Just Choo-Choo will never fail you if set up correctly. Yeah, maybe when it's not a playthrough that I'm trying to, you know, bust a world record on. Maybe that would be something to look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This here we're gonna go up 5. This here we're going up 5. Now, it might be that me going about this with the conveyors ends up being what brings my game to my knees. To its knees. It might just say, you know what, I'm done. I can't load this anymore. But I kind of don't think we're there yet, because performance-wise, the game's been solid. I haven't had any issues. I didn't do that right. What am I doing? Because we got to jump up too high, I got to do elevator jumps on this. Well, I have the item list. I went into the config file and I maxed or I changed the default item limit. So I don't think I'm going to run into physical. My issue will end up being like a memory crash or something like that. I could see that being more of a problem than the game saying, you know what, I'm done. So like the item limit, I don't think I'm gonna hit like an item limit issue. It's gonna be system memory. I mean, I've got 64 gigs of RAM. I think it'll be fine, but we'll kind of see. Why am I struggling? Having a hard time focusing and figuring out what how I want this built. Try to wrap my head around just moving 6 conveyors, but I'm doing the double hop. Usually it's just a 1 high conveyor I've got to move. Okay, so we're connecting these in the right direction. You're gonna go down. You're gonna go down next. And then you. Hope you got the rig water cooled. Yeah, I have an A360 AIO on my system. Core i7 14700K, 64 gigs of RAM, RTX 4070 Super, 12 gig. So I think I'm gonna be okay. In fact, you just built me a perfect segue now to say, hey, if you guys are interested, you can check out the link in my description. warning, promo time, just because you got to say that. You can check out my Amazon link, my Amazon affiliate link in the description. I've got a list in there of my PC build, how I built it, what's ever there. The only thing that's different is I dropped it down to 32 gigs of RAM in the build config that's there because no one can buy 64 gigs of RAM right now because the price is mind-blowing. And I used a 5070 because the 4070 Super, nobody has it in stock anymore. You can't buy it anywhere. Not that you're going to be able to get 5070s anymore either, but you can have a look at my Amazon affiliate link, as well as I put a couple of other lists together, some network camera stuff that I deal with at work. I put a list in there, as well as just some everyday items, plus my current audiobooks series that I'm listening to right now. So feel free to check that out in the description of the video and also on my About channel on my page. Both links will get you there. Okay, that's 4 conveyors. We got to get to... That's 5. And then this should be number 6 we're going to be adding. Once I actually put the lifts in here. Yeah, that should be 6. Now I'm going to delete out all these stupid risers because I really don't like them. They do what you need them to do, but that's about it. As far as how a structure looks, not to mention, you run into so many issues if you leave them like this close together. Because everything will start clipping into each other, and it's really ugly. And then, yeah, you'll have belts not connect properly. They'll connect to the riser and not the conveyor lift. Super frustrating. Okay, let's grab our blueprint for our 6-high conveyor. Sometimes connections get weird. They always get weird, I find. That should be good, though. Those all connect. Yes, no. The Mark 6 belts take so long to build. That is all good. I'm going to manually build this first set out, though, here. Before we continue on with our mad rush. Quick reminder, everybody, reach down, hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring that notification bell so you can be notified when I put up a new video or live stream. And if you are new to the channel and you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm currently working on converting all of the oil in-game into heavy oil residue and then converting that all into petroleum coke. And then that will all get used in my aluminum ingot manufacturing when I'm making my scrap aluminum. So yeah, and I'm just working on the conveyor highway to move all of the petroleum coke across the map. But I'm not got the conveyors loaded right now just because they're all being dumped into awesome sinks where I'm building them. So you can't believe that connected to your conveyors are not your mojo. It's a little tricky to get them to line up. But generally, as long as it's within the right build distance, you should be okay being able to get them to connect at both ends. But I generally find starting a conveyor off of something... Oh, wow, if I could actually click. If you're trying to start off like on this end, starting the next line, sometimes they don't connect very well right off the bat off of a slope. You're better off with them straight up and down like this to connect to. But they seem to do okay at the other end, closing the connection. And then when I do like long runs of this, see, I'm gonna run this right now. I'm actually looking on the map just below the east symbol on the mini map is kind of where I'm watching to keep this going straight. And then I'll watch for when it breaks. The break is just below the east symbol. And then I just keep going backwards with it. And it'll chirp when it can reconnect again. And we're now at our next spot where I've got to freaking deal with jumping over this, but I also have to bring in a whole pile more conveyors coming over here. So this is going to be a cluster to deal with. Just, yeah, this is going to be not so fun. As long as I've played the game, I will build it custom. No chance for me to fix some dumb thing later on. I was always that way until this playthrough. I really started to, okay, I'm going to take advantage of some blueprints when I can. Okay, so this is going after the large cluster that's down this way. And I mean, it is a lot of petroleum coke down here. That's kind of the benefit of kind of releasing the restrictions on the 100 and whatever summer sloop. I'm just spawning in the summer sloop that I want. And because everything that's got an output that will let me sloop it is giving me the 2 times output. Fortunately, it doesn't work on mining nodes. It only works on things that you're actually manufacturing. Yeah, Kibitz likes his trains, doesn't he? No shame in that. Enjoy your choo-choos. I like my massive banks of conveyors. Okay, blueprint. We are going with, I think it's 8 high on this one. Hello. Why you no connecty? There we go. Now it's connecting. Okay, so we got to bring these ones over now, but we're going to get this stepped out. And we're going to go up another 8 high with this. I think we're going to take this 8 high as well. I think I'm gonna go one more. And we're default build mode right now? Yes. So in total here, just off of this section, there's 8, 16, 32, 34 conveyors of petroleum coke just from the oil nodes down below here. Like all of this I already built earlier today, where I've got all of the crude oil getting converted into heavy oil residue. So the crude oil ones obviously are the black refineries. The heavy oil residue refineries are the purple ones that are all making the petroleum coke. They're all being dumped into awesome sinks right now. And then I'm geared up for being able to haul all this stuff away with the elevators that are going up. So all in all, I think this factory, it was challenging because there's so much stuff around here that you can't build in. And there's so many like things in the way that I had to build around. So this one was definitely a little bit more of a challenge to pull off the build for. But I think we did okay. And I didn't even plan that these actually fit under the foundation here. Like they just fit. I didn't want them to clip through, but I was just like, okay, I'm going to go by whatever the landscape out here is. I started with these 2 pure nodes back here. I'm like, okay, I'm going to build out these ones. I got the first one done, and I just kept that same height, and when I went to the lower ones, it just worked out that there was enough clearance. I didn't have to tear it out and redo it, which I probably wouldn't have. I would have just walled it off and said, there's some clipping behind there, let's not look at it. But I'm super pleased with how this all turned out here. It's actually probably the most factory thing that I've built so far, because the converter factory tower that I've got over on the far west side, I mean, it's functional and it does what it does, converting all of the caterium and all of the copper into bauxite, but it doesn't look that fantastic. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, getting all these done. Two done. Three. I don't even know what that connected to. Oh, it did connect to it. I thought it clipped off of something else and that conveyor was going to shoot off into the stratosphere. It did not feel like I had clicked on the right spot. Okay, two more to go. This is one. And two. Hello, clip on. There we go. Delete out all this ugly crap. I mean, it's needed to build it, but man, wish it didn't have to be. Because then it's just extra work. Almost got the conveyor on that one. Me didn't want to click that. Okay, that should be good. And then we'll grab our 8 high blueprint from this way. And does that auto connect all the way through? Line it up? Yes, it does. It all lined up. Yep, we're good. And now we're 16 high on this one until we get to here. And then I'm splitting it up. So blueprints, I want my 16 high conveyor now, which is this one. It does get a little more tricky getting them to connect and work with as you get a little taller. Okay, so that is 16 and we're going up 24. I just gotta wait till it finishes building here. So that'd be 21, 22, 23, 24. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Let's just get all these connected. Yeah, 24 is the, in the 6x6 Blueprint Designer, 24 is as high as you can get with your conveyor stack. So in turn, it ends up being the highest conveyor that we can deal with as we're building here. So how many more are we adding to that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them we're adding. Of course, yeah, 8 times 8 is, yeah. Or 8 times 3 is 24 height, so. We can come down with 8 of these initially. Or do I? Hold on. We are 18 in total here. So if I only take the top 8 of these, I'm thinking out loud right now. So if we went 10 high, with that, oh, that's not in the right spot. That's not in the right spot at all. I want to be right there with a 10 high conveyor, because then the last 8 conveyors will shoot up. So this only needs to go up 9 high, because that's 10 conveyors. If you just go straight up with a stack of them, it's actually 11 conveyors, because there's one that's at ground level. So I think what I'm going to do now is grab this blueprint, grab my 18 high stack, which is this one. We're going to connect and just cheat this forward a bit so we don't have to move it so much. I think that didn't lock. Come on now. Okay, that did. And then I'm going to delete out these last little couple that connected because I don't want them like that. Yeah, this one can go, that one can go, and that one can go. And then these, we're going to curl in. Are we in default build mode? Yes, we are. Just like that. Okay, that should be my 10 stack. Out of the way and moved over. So where this will start getting tricky is bringing those down and lining them up. See how much longer it takes to build these if you're not using a blueprint though? Like, it would take me all night just to bring 30 conveyors across the entire map. Even still, we have to do a lot of navigational work, so things are clipping through on this as we're building it. Thank you, Tull. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
I didn't need those ears anymore. That's totally okay. Okay, so the first one we got to bring down is this, and we need to line it up with that. I think is the right lineup. But we still have to build these stupid things all the way up to make it work. And you connect. So much product we're going to be shipping across the map here. I'm committed to the conveyor bit, though. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel by doing the trains. Not on this playthrough. Come on now. Connect properly, please. Two more. $34 conveyors is what we're going to be at. Just from here. Oh, I'm not connecting this end. I gotta get that done. Whoop. Whoop. And then this little blip. Because we'll have our stack of 24 and our stack of 10. Yeah, that's 34. 34 conveyors. And that connects. Hey, look at that. That will just delete out all this extra crap we don't want. So now I just have to move all this to the center of the map while hopping over a couple of pieces on the way down there. How much fun is that going to be? Oh, I'm totally not even going to try to unselect that. That would have been a wreck to fix. Yeah, it does clean it up a lot when you get all these extra risers out of the way. The fact they call these conveyor poles, I don't really agree with. Conveyor risers, conveyor scaffolding, I think is another good term that they could have used. So we got our kick-ass Petroleum Coke factory down below. Multi-tiered. Producing... What's that? 34 times 1,200. We're pulling 40,000 Petroleum Coke out of this little section right here. Holy snap. That's a lot of, that can't be right. Is that 34 times 1200? 40,800 petroleum coke. Wow. Okay. Kinda didn't expect that. Oh no, I'm busting up my build here. Well, I'm going to turn all of the oil into petroleum coke, and I don't know if it is going to be enough, so I'm already up over, let's see, with Saturday night stream, we ended with, I want to say it's like 85,000 bauxite that we're going to be converting into alumina solution, and then converting that into scrap aluminum, and then converting that into aluminum ingots, then converting that into steel beams, then converting that into steel screws. And it's the conversion from alumina solution to scrap aluminum is where we're going to be using all of this petroleum coke, or a good chunk of it. And what doesn't get used gets thrown into awesome sinks. So right now it's all being dumped into awesome sinks down at the plant level. Once I get all the conveyors over to the other side, I will make sure that all of them are hooked up to awesome sinks, and then we'll shoot all that stuff over to where the main factory is over at our conversion plant. It's gonna be a lot of awesome sinks because this here is 34 right here. There was another 6 off that cluster over there. There was 8 more coming from the far north end of the map. Another 8 around the middle. And we still haven't hit the big oil pots yet. This one was a good sized cluster of oil here, because there was a lot of pure nodes right here. Okay, so now I guess we grab our blueprint and our 24 high conveyor. The 24 is way more tricky to build with. I will wholeheartedly admit that. And from this one, I gotta come from the side for it. It's just way harder to build with. But this is still faster than trying to build this all just one conveyor at a time. Even though it's a little tricky moving this and getting the blueprint to work, it's still way faster doing this all the way along here. And all I've done that's slightly productive is bought an ice auger. Oh, did you go ice fishing today? Okay, I'm gonna need some room to hop this batch of 24 conveyors over this wall. Oh man, that's gonna kind of suck. Oh, yesterday you went out. Did you catch more yesterday, or? Okay, now we need our 10 high blueprint, which is this one. This one's so much easier to deal with. Only a couple. It was very crowded spot. I imagine going on the weekend it would be really crowded. Not to mention everybody and their dog realized how many fish you cut out of there last time. I feel like that's crooked. Did I build that crooked or is that straight? No, I think we're straight. I felt like that was crooked. Okay, now we gotta frickin' hop this crap. And it's 3 high that we gotta do it as well. Oh, this is gonna suck so bad. Okay, first things first. Let's go... Am I even going to have enough room to do this? Trying to think. I don't know if the conveyor will go far enough. I guess we'll find out. So we'll do... That's 21, 22, 23... That's 24, and we got to go up 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So 2 full pulls plus 6 we got to go. There we go. And then this one is just... we're going to go 10 high plus 3... That's 1, and then 2 more. So 12? I think that's the right height. Alright, so let's conveyor lift these over now. Oh, we're actually 4 high, we gotta go with it. I might have to add a chunk to this. Why does that one say 301 per minute? Because these are not 100% accurate. They fluctuate a little bit, just it averages out. But even they said in the build notes that it's not 100% perfect. These little monitors that are on there, they're just to give you an eyeball of, is anything like really out of whack? Like, is this running at 850 when it should be 900? Then you know you got to go back and figure out, okay, is there something that didn't get attached? That's kind of the only thing. You know what? I don't think I want all of this. Trying to think of what's going to be the better way to build this. Bear with me here. The cleanest way to build. And I think I might... I think the 10 high one will be fine. I might have to put one right in the middle of this. Signs are a good reminder as, yes, this is supposed to be a 300 line, but if you've made a mistake and it's not, then this gives, because I've got a sign here saying before anything was running, this top line is going to be running at 300 items per minute, but then I can verify it. Yes, it is actually running at 300 items per minute. Because I did use signs everywhere to kind of keep track of, okay, when this is all built and it's running, this should be a 300 item per minute line. And then I got to merge it with a 900 minute line to get me to that full conveyor and so on and so forth. And okay, that one, and that went too high. And I built those facing the wrong way because I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm going to delete these out now. Run my conveyor through it. Okay, so I can build from here on then. I think we've got the layout that I want. It's just these first ones that are the tricky ones. There we go. Everything connects. And I didn't bring that one down low enough. And then we'll build the next one up. Delete out this one. Okay. We only have to do it to 30 more conveyors. All to jump over that little cluster there. And I didn't feel like redesigning because I've actually got production lines that are running this product right now, building things, and I didn't want to starve that out at all to be able to flip these around, so. Because I should have moved that all underneath and did the merge and splitters and everything, so I'm going to torture myself with moving this massive bit over than to deal with shifting where that goes. And I just slopped coffee everywhere. That's amazing. I have a very wet leg. Actually, I don't want that there. I want the conveyor in first before. Then that way I know the elevator is connecting to a conveyor line. Oh, I built them facing the wrong way because that's just the right thing to do. Let's make sure the product's running in the right direction. What are we at? 4 per side now? All I keep thinking to myself, hey, when this is all built, this is going to look amazing. But until we get to that point, man, it's a crap ton of work. I need to hire myself some robots to just sit here and build this stuff. Well, I guess then I wouldn't be able to say I beat the record if I didn't build it and some robot built it for me. Just another story of AI taking over our life. I am kind of glad that I work in IT because at least I'm going to be the guy that has to fix the hardware that the AI is running on. So I'm still going to have a job? Maybe? Until they make AI robots that fix AI. And then there'll be AI robots that fix AI robots. Okay, this project is taking a little longer than I anticipated. Well, I mean, I knew that the logistically moving this amount of product across the map was going to be a challenge. I just knew that was going to happen. But, I mean, you need the product where you're going to be building these items from. So there's kind of no way around it. It's one of those things that just has to be done. Okay, how many is that so far? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 7. So I'm nearly done the short conveyor, because we just got to go to 10 on it. So we're working on number 8 for it. And it'll go a little bit faster when we're only working on one row of conveyors at a time. And then we can go back to the automatic pulling of our conveyor lines once this hop is done. Okay, let's delete out the riser. And on this side. Wait, I want that conveyor hooked up. Delete that first. Conveyor. Conveyor. That way I know it's clipping to what it needs to clip to, and that's too low, or not low enough, sorry. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. The focus is real. Yeah, I'm gonna delete out that foundation and replace it because I didn't feel like unhighlighting it. I'd like to think that there should be a way I could blueprint this, but it's always custom to every spot that you end up putting these little jumps and conveyor maneuvers around that I don't know if there would be an easy way to blueprint it. I think it would end up being just as much work to fix the blueprint after you placed it and make sure things connected than to just build it. Okay, that should be 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so one more on this side. Oh, I gotta delete out that bit. Not that much. Nope, I don't want that there yet. Not till I place the conveyor. Okay, I think that should be number 10 out here. Oh, I didn't build these ones yet. Okay, as long as I've got everything in the right spot, I can get the 10 high stack done. We'll delete out that. I only hope I got the conveyors going in the right direction. Well, of course it can't go that distance. The focus is real. I gotta wait. You get into a zone and you're building and you kind of forget what you're doing. And it's like, hey, I haven't talked in a bit. I should probably maybe do something. I know I totally screwed up that conveyor placement. Try not to get into those build zones, but every once in a while, this game just sucks you into it where you're focusing and concentrating on what you're working on. And you're like, you want to just keep diving at it. Oh, I guess we can connect right through and we don't need any more of these. I'm going to delete this out because I think it looks fine that there isn't a little bit of support structure right there. Okay, that should be that 10, and then I'm going to bring this out as well. We'll start pulling right from there. Connect these all out. All right, the row of 10 is hopped over. Now we just got to finish doing the row of 24. Because I'm a sucker for punishment. I'm going to just build it all and then delete out the riser frames once it's all built. Because I think I'm going to have to add another row of risers in the middle because I think we're going to end up with a too long of a conveyor stretch. So that's 11. This one will be 12, so we'll be half done this conveyor now. So the maximum distance you can go is 7 foundations on a single conveyor pull. So that's why I'm a little concerned that by the time we get the 24 conveyors spread out here, that the pull distance will be too far. Yep, like right there. We're already at that distance, so I'm just going to throw a center channel up on this that we then have to connect to. And that eliminates our conveyor distance problem. Except for it's just so much conveyor building. Almost think there should have been, I guess there could have been a better way to do this. Maybe with trucks or trains. I need to have that guaranteed consistency of the flow of the product. That's the reason why it's being done this way. If I can guarantee in a train that I'm always going to have 1,200 items per minute when I want 1,200 items per minute for any given line, and I just have not played enough with trains and trucks and drones to see what the throughput is on it. I guess I get complacent in my build style. And I need to take a risk and branch out of it. But not for this challenge. It's going to have to wait until the next challenge I end up doing, or the next playthrough. Maybe the next actual full playthrough I'll go through. I'll get away. I'll do belts where I have to do belts, but then anytime I have to move a product longer than, say, like one particular area that I'm in, I'll use trucks or trains or drones to move stuff around. See, the flip side to that with trucks and drones, at least anyway, is you have to have the support facility in place to be able to provide batteries and fuel and all that type of stuff that You're not always going to have that infrastructure ready at your fingertips. And then you have to build enough with it to deal with your overall factory build. Now, the particular style of playthrough I'm right now, just as we're trying to get this record done, doesn't really matter. I've got fuel and power requirements are turned off, so I could have trucks going back and forth and it wouldn't cost anything. But in a vanilla playthrough, like if you were just playing and working on, you know, getting your goals completed for the space elevator, that's a lot of infrastructure you have to have in place for like batteries or fuel, depending on what means you have for being able to move what equipment you've got. Certain fuels are more fuel efficient. Okay, we got to be getting close to max height on this. I think we got to go like 5 more, maybe. And then we got all kinds of crap to delete out. Almost starting to think now, am I going to have enough conveyor length for this center one to reach? We're going to reach maximum build length of the belt from the center. Okay, so that right there is technically 24 high, but then we jumped, how many conveyors up did we go? 1, 2, 3. So I still need to go 3 more higher on this. Okay, so that's 1. Nope, don't do that. That's 2. And that is 3. So this one should line up with... Nope, we got to do 1 more. Wasn't eyeballing it well enough. Oh wait, no, I didn't actually clip this down there. Yeah, we're good, because it's that one right there that feels in. So I actually don't need this in here. But I do have to finish building these 3 at this end. And our conveyor length was fine, so having that center riser in place, we were in good shape. One more, and then we got some deleting to do. and then connect everything up. Okay, let's get rid of all this junk. And try not to over-delete anything. Watch your elevators when you're coming up. Stop just before you get to the top of where you need to go. Take your time, be extra cautious. Sometimes this is one of those things where if you slow down, it'll go faster. Because if you rush through it, you're going to end up deleting something you shouldn't, and then it's way more work to fix it after something's been deleted out where it shouldn't be removed from. I think I'll leave the center support in there, though. I'm not going to delete that one out. It can stay. See, there is where my instance of almost being too careless. I had like some elevator, or I had some various conveyors and foundations and stuff selected on that one. Okay, this side is clean. Now we can just do some connection runs here. Be right there again, and then just might as well throw our stack in here. And then I'll do the same thing on the output side. I'll match it up to match the distance of the 10 high conveyor. And then we can go back to our blueprint pulls. Now, if I didn't care about clipping, I could have just blasted all this straight through everything and not really thought about it, because I know that my conveyors are working, so I could have just said, you know what, I'm just going to ignore the clipping. And but back in my mind, I'm going to be looking at it and going, I can't have conveyors running through each other like that. It's just not right. Someone would call me out on it. And I've been pretty good. There's some like land spaces where a conveyor is kind of like cut through the land a little bit. I'm kind of all right with that, but purposely running pieces of machinery into another piece of machinery because you're too lazy to build the infrastructure around it. I don't want to put myself into that scenario. I understand how much time that would have saved me if I had just said screw it. All right, that side's all hooked up. That actually looks like decent though. Come from this side and you see the two of them together. We got a great conveyor highway going. Now we just got to delete out all this crap that we don't need. Acrosum. Oh, look, more belts. Yeah, belts, belts, belts. This is the Petroleum Coke belt. We got 38 conveyors of petroleum coke just from this one little factory down here that we've got to move over to that far corner of the map. There's another 6 conveyors over here. There's another 8 right around here. There's another 8 over there. There's going to be another 30 plus at the north end and a few more here in the middle, plus everything over on the east side or the west side we got to do. I'm converting all the oil in-game into petroleum coke because I'm going to need it for my scrap aluminum manufacturing. Ooh, I'm lucky on that one that I ended up not deleting out a conveyor lift there. That would have kind of sucked. I must be careful what I'm clicking on. This is all for maxing screws? Yep. All of this infrastructure is for the screw manufacturing. We ended up with a total of almost 85,000 bauxite yesterday. Or not yesterday, day before, when I finished converting the copper into bauxite. So now that 85,000 bauxite will end up getting converted into alumina solution, which will get us a ridiculous amount of alumina solution. And then we'll have to refine it again into scrap aluminum. And it's that scrap aluminum is going to use all of this petroleum coke. Rather than using the coal. The whole reason for that is I want the coal for converting the iron into steel. When we get to making all of the iron into what we're working on here. Okay, so I'm going to do the first little bit of this to match up. I think if we go to there, we'll be okay. Oh, and by the way...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
I forgot to give you the little welcome sign. I wonder if I... Do I put that... I don't think it'll work there. Want to come well past it, so we'll just go to here, and then we're going to run this all the way up. And then from that, we've got them all lined up, so we'll be able to go back to using our blueprints. Because I don't think I have any more now until we... Okay, let's zoom in. I gotta deal with that pile of scrap crap there. Then we're gonna have to hop over again. Ugh. Why don't I get a good view of anything back here? Oh yeah, there it is. The converter tower. The that you can't actually see the equipment in, you can only see the conveyors. I actually haven't even done the math to figure out how much petroleum coke we're going to craft out of this and how much we're actually going to need. So we may be overproducing on the petroleum coke, but that's okay if we are, because worst case scenario is it could just keep being dumped into awesome sinks. I would sooner have way too much than not enough. Like I said, this overall project is going to take weeks to be able to get to the point where we're making all the screws in the game. It's going to be weeks to get it all built. Especially when I only get like 3 hours a day to play, right? So we've only got about an hour left on this live stream, and then I'm out for the night. Okay, so now we can go back to our blueprints, and I want my 24 high conveyor blueprints. We'll click that. That worked right? Yes, it did. Okay. It just didn't give me the little blue line underneath that it said it was lined up. Not entirely sure what the deal is with that. See, there's the blue line. Oh, let's actually clip it. There we go. Clip. Absolute behemoth of conveyors here. When it's all running, it's going to look freaking amazing. Okay, if I've got it on like no build cost, why does it still show the animation for the build? Oh wow, if this is how long it takes for it to build it all. Is it still trying to throw the bits and pieces into the other conveyors? Like, it takes forever. That's nuts. That's why it's like chugging a little bit while I'm building this. It's because of all the particles that it's throwing in the air to build it. I think, oh no, because there's still going to be iron and coal. I'm thinking, I was like, am I going to have, like, how many more items am I going to have to bring on this massive conveyor everywhere? I think there's still quite a bit, because I'm going to need all the limestone to be able to consume the water from making the scrap aluminum. So the wastewater we got to deal with. We're going to need all the iron to make, you know, screws out of, and then all the coal as well to make steel from the iron. I think the only thing I'm not going to be using is probably like quartz. Hey, I want to look for a second. Let me just grab my blueprint designer. No, I want my factories. Where's my refinery? What all can I make on this? Pure quartz crystal. Oh, I can do that too. I can use the limestone. So I can use the wet concrete to consume water, and I can use the quartz to make pure quartz, and that will consume water as well too. Because I won't have, I mean, there's no copper left that I can use pure copper ingots for. There's no deuterium left I can make pure deuterium ingots, and there's not going to be, well, I'll be using iron, but I don't want to rely on wastewater for making the pure iron ingots in case for whatever reason something should break in the pure or into the wastewater manufacturing. So I've got two alternates here that I can use. And then let me look at the converter again. What else can I convert into? I can get all the sulfur and convert it to limestone. That'll get us some more limestone to convert into wet concrete. And I guess, no, I can't. I was just thinking, can I convert uranium into something? So I think that's, I've got some paths then to get more products that I can use to convert or to consume up the wastewater. It's kind of the problem that's nagging in the back of my head right now while I try to figure out how all these factories are going to lay out together and stuff, is dealing with the wastewater and what it's going to look like, and I don't want to rely on that wastewater in regular production. That would be a fatal flaw in the overall manufacturing line, is if that was to break down for whatever reason, then it screws everything up beyond. Oh, with the big conveyor wall coming from the side like this is so much easier. The smaller stacks aren't as ugly to deal with. Wait, why are those running backwards? Is that... You guys saw that, right? Those conveyors were running backwards, weren't they? They're not now, but they looked like they were running backwards. That is mind-blowing. My brain just totally, I'm like, why are they all flowing back into the mine? That makes no sense. That totally broke my brain there. No, the only thing I could think is because it was working on the animation of building the other conveyors, that it just took a minute for the refresh to show the products moving the way they were supposed to be. That's the only thing I can think of. That was mind-blowing. Should I? No, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I'm trying to think of what to do with those 3 lines of copper. It's so much easier to not have to build this crap if I don't have to. Especially with this. Oh, but I'm going to run into it anyway on the big superhighway. What's one more section, right? 10 highway. Or 10 stack is this one. It's funny that they're not lining up like the other ones. It's the same infrastructure for building. Oh, I know, because when I ended up bringing it out, the 24 line, I brought it out further. To make sure we had a straight edge to build off of. I didn't have to go as far out with the 10. Man, this is super easy building this like this, though. If all your factories could go together as quick as this belt highway. Okay, so that's 34 conveyors up to this point. Now, what am I going to do with this? They're all pure lines. You're gonna go like so, you're gonna go like so, you're gonna go like so. And then I'm gonna go this way. Like so. Like so. Just like that. And then we're gonna connect these. I'm going to try to minimize the impact of this as much as I can. Okay, you line up. And we're going straight build on that. Straight build on that. Back to default. All right, here goes nothing. Delete, delete, delete. Delete, delete, delete. All right, there'll be a little hiccup that went in there, but we just freed us up more room to be able to get this all the way to the end, and then I got to deal with dropping it down. But that, hopefully that didn't impact us too much at the far end. We'll get rid of the copper that I'm carrying around, the guiltiness. Got a bunch of petroleum coke in my inventory here too. All in all, I think it was only 90 copper. So it wasn't too bad that I deleted out. Let's go back to the blueprints. I totally screwed up a click on that one. It double stacked right on top of each other too. I gotta wait for them to both finish building before I can get rid of it. I did this once before the other day, and it really sucked. Yeah, believe it or not, there is two. Oh, wait. Haha! Did that delete it out properly? Yes, it did. Hello. I don't know how it ended up underneath, but that worked out. That made it like super easy to fix. Okay, 24 then. We're back at it. Make sure. Oh, we're off center. How the heck did that happen? Where did I screw up? Where on this line? Ah, it's way back there. No. See it? Whoop. All right, I'll fix it. I have to fix it. I can't leave it that way. It's got to go. I'm gonna delete out all of this. I'm so glad that they changed the dismantle gun to blueprint mode. That would have stayed the way it was if it hadn't. Okay, let's go back to the blueprint now. This might be tricky now that I got the 10s kind of in the way here. So I just got to be extra careful as I'm placing these. I was bragging about how easy it was, and now I'm paying for it. Come on. Maneuver into place. There we go. Okay. All is right in the world. Now I can go back to my normal build and just make sure I've got the blue line before I release it. And double check that it's on the center line. Yeah, we're good. One, stay with the line. There we go. Stay on target. Stay on target. Quick reminder, everybody, reach down, hit that like button on the video. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Ring the notification bell so you can be notified when I've uploaded a new video or live stream. And if you're just new, I am working towards the record for the most screws ever built in Satisfactory. I may or may not be a sucker for punishment. And right now I'm building the infrastructure for transporting large quantities of petroleum coke across the map. So each area that there's an oil deposit, I have oil manufacturing, refining happening at the site that's converting it from crude oil to heavy oil residue and polymer resin, and then converted the heavy oil residue into petroleum coke. The polymer resin's just getting dumped into an awesome sink because I don't think we're going to need that. Unless, of course, we end up having to package some wastewater, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And right now, all the petroleum coke is just being dumped into awesome sinks as well. But I'm building the infrastructure so that we can move that petroleum coke across the map. And newsflash, there's a lot of petroleum coke that I've been able to manufacture so far. The one cluster that's down in that crater on the south end of the map produced over 40,000 petroleum coke in that cluster alone. But I'm using this as an alternative to coal so that I can make sure that my coal can be used for other manufacturing processes to be able to make the most screws. I have a vision in my head. I don't know if it's sane, but hopefully it works. Okay, so now we've got to put out whole floor infrastructure here to move all of this stuff. So we got 24 to do. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And then there's 10 on this one. So 2, 4, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then this is 10 we got to drop down. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I don't need any of the foundations anymore. I think 24 is like that sweet spot where things just kind of come together okay for moving the product. Maybe that's why they did it on purpose, that you can't go higher or can't go above 24 on the blueprint designer. Yeah, we're definitely going to be at this for a couple of streams. The sheer magnitude of material that we've got to move around is kind of off the charts. Oh, of course that one went too high. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge because we are not going to be able to run the conveyor the full length, I don't think. I think we'll run out of distance that we can run the conveyor. Maybe we'll just be able to get it. No, I don't think so. Trying to run the math in my head here. Well, I guess we are. We're getting there. Last one. Oh, it did. Look at that. Excellent. Oh, yeah, I guess it's no different than the center point that we made the drop over there, or that rise section. That's too high. Okay, so just curious, how high is this? Let's go vertical build. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Delete this out. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then if we went zoop from here, that's 12, 16, 20, 24. Oh, I totally deleted that out. I didn't mean to. Nope, wrong spot. And then 10 more here. Little deleting. Now I should be able to just bring these straight down. Change the output direction. Now, I'm pretty sure I can't. I'm going to try connecting the blueprint to the 24 stack on the angle to see if it'll actually connect. I don't think it will. I think it'll struggle with me every step of the way. I don't think it can ever get close enough to actually hook up the elevator components. So I picked that build height because I'm pretty sure I can get all of these to fit under here. Oh, I freaking can't. I'm pretty sure I have to do it that way. I'm not redoing that whole row for that one. Would have been all right if I had figured that out right, but apparently I did not. Okay, now we just got to connect all this crap underneath here. Like so. I don't understand why it twists and turns every time when you're connecting between the floor holes. It changes the direction of the conveyor. I think it shouldn't do that. So I'm constantly having to rotate these to make sure that the arrows are going in the right directions. I don't think that connected properly. There we go. So even though there's like some gaps here, of which this one didn't gap out, which means I didn't get it connected properly. Even though there's gaps here, when we like load and unload, those will be filled back in and it won't be gapped like that. I don't know. It's just a graphics glitch that's in there. It happens with some of the elevator connections. And it seems to be right like when you're at like the max build height with them. Like, I don't know. It's weird how it does it sometimes and not others. Other than when it's a surefire way that you didn't hook it up properly. All right, now it's just a matter of connecting all these ones. At a certain point here, there'll be a max distance where I can't get them connected. And I'll have to throw the risers in. Think? Yeah, there we go. No recheat. No recheat. So we're going to just, I'll throw this in here and I'll make it look like we're tied in with the other ones. All right, that reaches 34 conveyors all the way across the map. 34? Yeah, 34. And then we've got this cluster F down here, which is another... How many conveyors is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, 12 here that we're going to be adding in. So I got to figure out how that's going to look. And then is there more? Because, oh yeah, there's this group of 6. Oh, making my brain hurt is what it's doing. because we got all this copper here that we're dealing with as well. So we're going to have to move these 6 over. Okay, so it's going to be that. 2, 3. See, and then it's going to interfere with this stuff. Man, I'm just asking myself for a big old cluster here. Because I think I'm going to bring the 24 down and I'm going to turn it and it's going to be, because it's already a full row. So then these ones need to... I think if we put you here, 1, 3, 4, 5. Not like that. 5 and 6. And it's got to be the right height, too. Which that it is not. Are you the right height? Does that look straight? That looks straight. Okay. So we're going to delete this one. Bring you down to here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to turn that to straight. These are the ugliest conveyor pulls. Okay, so these 6 are fixed. This is, well, I don't know if that's necessarily as high as I want them to go yet. Because then we got these 12, that's 18. So if I brought these 12 over like so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That gets us 18. And then we'll pull some from the 10 stack. I don't know. We'll see if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work or not. What am I going to do? I'm going to... We're definitely going to be here for that's 21 to that height. 22, 23, 24. That's where we're connecting that one to. Then we'll just make this a short little corner segment, I think is all we'll do. Yeah. $20, $21, $22, $23, $24. So we just got to fix this. Like so. Mainly because we're already dealing with like a full wall of conveyors. There's no point trying to split that up and try to make it work into a full wall. Combining it with the other ones coming from the other direction. The nice thing about the Petroleum Coke is it looks like we're not dealing with any partial lines at all, because it just kind of works out that you're always going to end up with a at least a full 1,200 items. Because one impure node overclocked to 250% produces 150 crude oil. That 150 crude oil, when manufactured into heavy oil residue and then converted into petroleum coke, ends up equaling exactly 1,200 petroleum coke. So just one impure node will get you one full conveyor of petroleum coke. Okay, so that's that corner. Now let's... Can I get my blueprint to connect to that angled wall of elevators that are there? I don't think it will. I think this is going to tell me to get bent. Because I have to be this close for it. Yeah, and then it starts breaking them away. And then we get to a certain point where it starts... Fine, be that way. Let's go out this far. To here, and then just bring everything up. Just going to switch it back to default because it is so much easier to build this with default than straight. Straight sometimes just doesn't want to run a straight line for some reason. It does it more often than not. Especially on those short 90-degree turns when you're trying to do the short 90s. It will not place them. It just thinks it's not 90 degree enough. Now, can the 10 conveyor, can I build off that one, or should I build, you know what, I'm going to build it out too. That way everything's starting on even plane. And then down one. Coffee is done, and what do we got left on the stream here? 20 minutes or so? About 15, 20. I would at least like to make sure I get these conveyors over. And then we'll have the logistics done for at least this half of the map of all the petroleum coke. Blueprint, 24 high. Line up. Don't get any crazy ideas. No twists and turns. Let's not get too click happy either. Ah, it's too close together. Oh, she's freaking out because of all the building it's doing right now. My frame rate just went It is struggling. Holy smokes. Let's just back up and let that do its thing while it finishes building all that stuff. There were just too many particle effects, and it was like, what are you doing to me? Okay. It should be less constrained now. Yeah, totally levels out now. I guess if I hadn't, like, clicked that last one as close, we probably could have auto-built this with the blueprint, but just wasn't enough room. And I wasn't going to tear out and then back that one off, so... Okay, 24. And that's 18, and we're going to have to add a couple to it. Let's bring the 10 stack over to get ready for how we're going to put that together. Blueprints, 10 high conveyor is this one. That stay straight. I feel like it. My little blue line went away. I think we're still okay. I don't like it when the blue line disappears. And next. There we go. You stayed on the center post? Yes, you did. All right, so we are going to go, you're going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's all coming up from that down below. And then these are the 6 from that pressurized node, the resource well. We got the 6 out of that. And then we need... So that is 18. Try to figure out exactly what this is going to look like. If we do it from here, that's 21, 22, 24. I think we'll be okay there. Let's get all these connected first. 1, 2, 3. Not like that. These short little conveyor runs are a little harder to deal with. Okay, there we go. Let's click on the right side of this one. So you're there. So that'll be 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That should be the right height we need. We need 6 off of that 10 stack to come over to this. Which means we are building this out. Oh yeah, and this is where my other 8 are coming in or dropping in off this line. Oh man, there's so much petroleum coke. Oh my goodness. So if this is a 10 stack, we're taking, so I need 4 to turn this way. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. If that makes sense. Because then from this, we're going to go from this one down up to, and that's this line. Connect that little blip. Pull this down. Okay, let's delete out this piece because we're not going to need that anymore. Oh yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together nicely. As we try to move all of this freaking petroleum. Thank goodness for the blueprints. I'm full on board to blueprint building mode now. Once we really start hauling, once you realize just how much petroleum coke we're going to be moving across this map, I don't think it'd be doable without the blueprints. It would take us weeks just to build all the conveyors. Not to mention how glorious it's going to look to see it all running like that. Let me delete out these extra bits here. Bye-bye. Ooh, nope. I almost deleted an elevator there. Conveyor lift. Connect. Launch myself off the side of that conveyor belt. Oh, that's staying. What am I doing? That one belongs there. These two don't. All right, that come together nicely. Let me grab this blueprint, 24 high, and get this first one clicked. And built. We have, at this point right here, 64,400 Petroleum Coke worth of conveyors. And there's 8 more that are going to run right on this. And they will drop down and join the other 4, so that'll be a 12 line. Oh, look at the debacle we have to deal with now. We're gonna jump that SAM ore, and we can't be messing with the SAM ore production line because it's too important and other things that it's building. And then we also have to jump this as well. Okay, so if I bring... I think I'll bring everything up to like this point right here and then bring those ones over. So blueprint, 24 high. We'll keep going with this manufacturing line. That one. Click. Right to there. Okay. I think that'll leave me enough room to figure out what we're doing with getting over that. Okay, let's connect this one in. That all joined. And then I think we can move this. No, we'll leave that just like that for now. And then we need, this one's just a 4 high, I think now. So blueprints, 4 high conveyor is this one. Okay. Yeah, I'll continue this 4 high and then we'll manually, I'll do one more section. Blueprint, where's my 4 high? Excuse me. Did not mean to cough in everybody's ear. So then from here, we're going to be... Oh, we're going to just turn that into 1 high conveyors. So... And we got to go 8 out on this. 1, 2, 3, 4... If I click it properly... 5, 6, 7, 8... Now, will this reach all the way down there? I doubt it's going to. That would be too much luck. Oh, it does. Look at that. Okay, so that's that height. 1, 2. How awesome is that? That we can just maybe get that to clip in and come straight down. God, maybe going forward for all the rest of them, we bring it from the top side down. Just build my highway higher. Add 8. Connect these up. I'm 99.9% sure that there's only 8 coming in off of that that cluster of oil nodes that are over there. So what is that? That makes that a 12 high conveyor now? I think I went 1 too high. Van too high. That would deal with this end. Need to go 7 up with this one. Right there. That, I'm pretty sure, went in crooked. Yeah, it did. Clicked on the wrong side of the riser for the conveyor. All right, let's go all the way to the other end. Which was the last section of oil refining that I got completed. Man, tonight was just logistics. I was just massive amounts of logistics is what we were doing. Tomorrow we'll definitely be diving back into more oil. Dealing with, it'll be the next cluster of oil nodes will be right in that section right there that we got to deal with. And then there's another little cluster that's like right in here somewhere and right near that cliff face over there that we're going to be dealing with. And then bringing those materials over. But I kind of like this idea coming in high and dropping it down. Kind of made it easier than figuring out how I was going to get everything to merge together. Okay, blueprint. I need my 8 high stack, which is this one. Everything connected? Yes. I think on the 8 high, it's actually easier to build it this way than staring at it from the side. Because then I can look just below the compass, the north sign. You can see where it breaks. And that's where I'm trying to keep track and make sure that I'm staying in a straight line. So you don't even look at the full screen. You're just looking at the little navigational compass at the top. Okay, we should almost have this hooked up. Why did that not... There we go. Didn't think I was that far away from it already. We got to be almost there. Oh, two more pulls, and then I think we got it. This one should all tie it together. It does. So now we have 60 conveyors. 72,000 petroleum coke we've manufactured to this point. I know these conveyors are empty right now. I understand that. This is the logistics in place. It's because right now they are currently dumping into Awesome Sinks. So I don't want to interrupt the production line yet until we're actually ready to move and transport these materials to the other end of the map. But I want the infrastructure in place here ready to go for when we are ready for it. And we're pretty close. Like there's 2 rows of 24 and another row of 12. So 60 conveyors that's going to be running petroleum coke for us. And we still have, if we look at the map, we have all of this oil right here that we've got to deal with. If we go to crude oil, there's this little cluster right here. There is this one right here, which is a pressurized resource well. And I think it's this East Coast or West Coast stuff that we've got to deal with. Because I don't think there's any more at the south end of the map. So we're getting there. Let's have a look at our overall to-do list. If I scroll down here to where the to-do list is. Excuse me. Okay, bauxite nodes gathered, SAM nodes gathered, reanimated SAM crafted from the SAM ore. Deuterium nodes gathered, that's done. Deuterium converted into bauxite, that's done. Copper nodes gathered, that's done. Copper converted into bauxite, that's done. Oil nodes refined into heavy oil residue, we're about halfway done. And crafted petroleum coke is about halfway done. We're basically doing these 2 units at the same time, and then we're going to be going straight into alumina solution and scrap aluminum and then dealing with the wastewater. A lot of that is going to be kind of all done out in that same area over there. But that's it. That's where we're at tonight. 72,000 petroleum coke. I think that's a pretty good step towards getting all of the petroleum coke together. We're going to be continuing this in the next stream. Yeah, let's head over to cam window. Thank you guys for chilling and hanging out here for my live stream tonight and seeing the overall progress of being able to get all these materials across the map. The maps, it's starting to become a real, like there's a lot of materials moving around now. It's starting to seem like the scope of this project is starting to envision a little bit. It hasn't really looked like a massive project until you started seeing, you know, these petroleum manufacturing lines creeping up, and then all of these massive amounts of conveyors for being able to move that petroleum coke. It's definitely a shift into full-on production mode. Reach down, hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring the notification bell so you can be notified when I got a new video or live stream going up. And promo time now. If you have the opportunity, feel free to check out my Amazon affiliate link. I've got a Amazon store link set up there. It's links in the description of this video, or it's in my about page. And I've got a couple of lists up there for items that you guys can browse and check out. There's some network camera gear that I've used at my real life job that is fantastic. Amazing products to work with. Also, the specs of my PC that I'm streaming and gaming with and playing this with right now. You can have a look at those specs. Also, everyday items that I use every day, from like t-shirts that I find extremely comfortable to sunglasses, watch bands, you name it. And then my current audio books that I'm listening to right now. I'm listening to it's a King's Dark Tidings, I think, series. There's like 7 books in that series, and I'm on the 7th book of that series, and it's been really good. So feel free to check those out. But that's in my Amazon affiliate link. With that all said, guys, you have yourself a good one, and we will see you in the next stream. Bye for now.